of Kingdom Minds, and I am hosting this circus of amazing Kingdom Minds. I'm so blessed to be here. It is Friday, as we do every week. As you know, this is an inside look at creating one of the most amazing, world-changing, life-changing, kingdom-changing courses on the planet with the one, the only, Dr. Guy Henry, Pastor Carlos, Dr. Ruth. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing great, thank you.
Blessings
Okay, I need
all
some
around.
energy. Hey, woo!
Boomer Sooner!
Woo!
and our lovely friend Caroline here. Caroline, where are you at right now?
I am joining you live from Manchester, United Kingdom.
Wow.
Hey. Yes.
This is
Nice.
Awesome. So blessed to see you guys. I am so pumped about today's broadcast. Broadcast, I don't really know what to call this because it's just been, every week has been a bigger blessing and had a bigger impact on my life.
Overview so that we can lead up to the real show, as it were. I want to open with a statement, if you allow me, and then just kind of set up our subject today, because while it's not directly involved with mission, we're going to create new words on here, especially with me. A creative thinker, a transformational leader, one who can create a multi-generational kingdom culture influence by aligning your life to a mission purpose. And I know that's kind of pretty much everybody that's on this roundtable. I know that still fits in their passion. That's why we're here. I mean, that's why we've connected. So this course is, being created through, all these calls. And I believe it, for me, this has already been and is going to be one of the greatest endeavors I've ever been involved in. Given everything, the Lord has allowed me to be part of, I see this as part of a transition in my life that's going to allow me to really be a part of something that's been bigger than anything I've been so far. I mean, I just see that potential. So when, we're not, the difference between that and self-conscious, a huge difference.
I want to jump in real quick.
Of
You
course.
said old behaviors do not produce new results. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, in essence.
Okay, so to that point, one of the most frustrating things on my journey, because we all know that we can't do this alone, hence why we are doing this together. But that, speaking to the old behaviors, for the longest time, I could not figure out why everyone
Very key that you attract. You were attracting them because because that was our behavior, but we cannot change our behavior until we have an awareness of self. Once we know and we are asking ourselves, why am I doing that? Why do I respond that way? And we dig that out, then we can change that. Our behavior changes, so does the people, events, and circumstances in our life change because we attract them. Our self-awareness will cause us to attract that which we desire within our life.
Amen.
Dr. Henry, there's something called CBT. It's cognitive behavior.
You're on mute, sister.
Your mouth is moving, but nothing is coming out.
You need to unmute your mic.
I cannot tolerate. This I can take and this I cannot take. And just to take us back to what Joshua said, sometimes we attract the same types of people over and over again who may not be great or good for us because of our behaviors. And that is because we have not identified an internal value standard through which we can objectively evaluate ourselves and manage the behaviors or the emotions or whatever it is that's going on around us. So while it is great for us to say, yes, I want to think positive, yes, I want to do this, but there are values that we need to say. If someone...
It's like a woman who keeps attracting an abusive husband. or an abusive spouse or an abusive boyfriend or whatever. She has a spirit of abuse that's following her, and she may present herself a totally different way. A nice gentleman, or so she perceives, a nice gentleman may approach her, and he may, quote unquote, on the outside have it all together. But if she has not prayed and that thing has not been broken off of her, she finds out later in the relationship, something happens, he goes off, he hits her. But he was a nice guy. You never broke the spirit or the thing that was upon you that you may not have known because of a lack of knowledge, which causes people to perish. Mentor, excuse me. I had to take it to church.
Oh yeah.
Amen.
Well, you
Amen.
know, I don't know what another word, so don't take it wrong. The problem with your spontaneity, Dr. Ruth. Okay, you know, here we go. Let me start with a couple of statements so that we can have a basis to have our next conversation. Self-awareness is a gift that we've all been given, but too often been dismissed as too complicated, or we deem it unnecessary to really know about, generally speaking. I'm not talking about the people here necessarily, but a lot of people that I've talked to recently, and you'd be surprised who has fallen into this, had no idea what self-awareness is. I know that I can know, but I don't know. So therefore, I want to ask the questions. And, you know, there is no problem that does not have a suitable solution. And that solution is always found within the circumstances that create the problem. I'm leading us to somewhere. I'll repeat that. There is no problem that does not have a solution, but the solution is often found in the circumstances that created the problem is what changes. Thoughts can come in, but that is not a good thought. That's not the right thought. That's not the kind of person I need to be with, tying all this together. So I think about it, and as a man thinks, that is what he will become. Go ahead. Take it.
I'm laughing because this morning, guess what I was reading in my quiet time?
No
I
way.
was reading about Elihu and Job.
Okay.
When Elihu began to argue with Job's three older friends, and Job telling him that God does not discipline you if you have not done anything, and you're out what you already know. And so it's like when Jesus told the Sanhedrin council, "Thou sayest," well, you already know that I'm the Son of God. You just don't want to accept it. You don't want to accept what you already know. Put the mirror up. You know your hair is a mess. Put the mirror up. You know you need to put on a hat this morning. Sorry, Joshua.
Hey. Take it off now.
That was
Relationship. In other words, run for the hills or whatever it is. But then when you're faced with that same situation, how many times do you take your own advice? Almost never.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
to your point, yeah, we do know the answer. We absolutely know. We're just afraid of it sometimes,
Yeah. We don't want to ask the stupid questions.
even if it's to ourselves.
Go deep, she said.
That's being
Yes.
it's being created from the germ itself. Every vaccine that we have taken, any name it, measles, polio, whatever it is, every vaccine is created from the problem itself, from the germ itself. God already told us the medicine to cure whatever it is ailing you is from that which is ailing you. And Jesus Christ himself came, made himself sin so he can pay for sin.
Come on, snap.
It's time for the offering.
Of people, and you fail, you ask yourself the question, why is it that so-and-so is succeeding? We were in the same masterclass and everything. It could be that which was provided at that time was based on truths or problems that individual faced, and that's why that solution was suitable. And
Uh-oh.
Let's keep moving forward before we
Okay.
meditate on that too much.
Woo! Okay.
And equally, love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these. The Bible, Jesus is commanding us that the key to loving others is to love ourselves, and that is through self-awareness.
I just talked about this yesterday or last night. I was on a podcast and I was talking about all of these things that I thought were true about myself, that I had identified myself with, how the process of learning to love myself revealed that a lot of these things that I thought were true just weren't. And when I started to choose to make loving decisions for myself, all of a sudden my perceptions completely changed. The things that I thought I wanted or needed in relationships changed. And as I started to love myself, it's been an amazing thing. So to your point, Dr. Henry, loving yourself is a very powerful, powerful thing.
It is. It is. And we sometimes have accepted things that are not true about ourselves. Mm-hmm. I'm insecure, or I'm shy, or I'm
mentally ill.
Yeah. When in God's kingdom and in his word and in his promises, we are
in this world performing things that somebody else wanted them to do. And they hate themselves. They hate their lives. This is why you have the Robin Williams. He had it all. So the world thought, but he was miserable because maybe that's not what he really wanted to do with his life. Maybe that wasn't his actual God-given call. Maybe he had come to a pivotal point in his life and he didn't know what to do next because I'm a funny man. That's all I have to do in this life. I'm a funny man. Not knowing that maybe that wasn't all that he had to offer this world. Maybe that was not his only, or maybe it wasn't his purpose at all. And a lot of times the reason why you have so much killing and things going on, because people don't love themselves, so they can't love anybody else. And before all of that, God is love. So you have to know God in order to.
If your faith is genuine, test yourself. Surely you know that Jesus is in and among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith. I love this. I love this version.
Talk about stay in your lane. Wow.
Yeah, because we are all unique. How can we compare ourselves to others? We never can. The eternity past was for this specific time. Now, we know that we can make decisions. We can make bad decisions. We've all made a few of those. And that changes the place and the people that are in our life, but it does not change the mission purpose that we've been called to.
And this we know, that all things work together for the good of them that love God and are called to his purpose. So even with the craziness, the bad things that we attract, and I was thinking about, I didn't know you were going to bring this up, but I was thinking about this morning when people marry people that they may find out later they shouldn't have never married. It happens. But that's why well, that's true.
Yeah, I want to stay away from that subject because I think about the work after that marriage that forced this mirror up to me of realizing I'm not the man that I want to be or that I need to be able to attract anything really good and solid and whole in my life, because that simple expression, like attracts like, is probably overused, but it's so true in all areas of our life. Business partners, love, friendships, opportunity, like attracts like. So be the man. And the craziest thing is the inspiration I got from that came from a guy that's probably 24 years old. And I heard him say one time he wouldn't date, he didn't get involved with anyone until his finances.
Be the person you're looking for is looking for. So, and love your neighbor as yourself. And to love myself so much that if there's anything in me that is not aligned to the value system and standards that I am quickly able to change it and to take on new behaviors. Just like when a guy is pursuing a girl, you would shave, you would do all these.
Right there stuck out for me. Powerful question for me. Who is my neighbor? Christ mic drop moment. Well done, Patrick. That was a beautiful share, Caroline. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So, Dr. Henry, we got a couple
Welcome
minutes
back.
left.
Okay, I don't know. My internet went completely out. There was none, and then it was. So
It's all good, man. We improvised
I
and
figured you would.
had a nice discussion.
In Spanish. Now, self-awareness is the ability to think about yourself and how and why you think that way. You see, there's always a reason why we think the way we think. And it's because of something that has happened or something that someone has told us or some lie that we've believed, and fly on your own life manually.
Wow.
Wow.
Just because you think it does not mean you have to catch it.
Mm.
The statement, "It's just how I am," is a lie. It is never
Come
true.
on. Come on.
Amen.
Self-awareness is based on the idea that you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts enter, but the entity observing your thoughts. We are the entity observing our thoughts. We are the thinker, separate and apart from our thoughts. We are the thinker. So again, as a man thinks, that's how he is, and that's how he will be. Okay, those are some of my final statements. Time for discussion on any of those.
I love what you said. I was listening to a lady teach on sales the other day, and she said you have to escape the ant mentality. Think of yourself more highly than you ought, but think of yourself with sober judgment according to the measure of faith God has given you. In other words, we are to be balanced in our thoughts. And understanding and becoming aware of who you are, you have to, again, love yourself. What does that look like? That looks like if I'm tired and I can't help you today, even if I want to, I need to say no. I need to love myself enough to say no and go and get me some rest. Self-care. That's what we call it in the mental health field. And when I'm teaching pastors now, self-care. Teach the people how to pray for themselves so they won't call you at midnight saying, "My cat is stuck in a tree and can you pray for me?" I've taught you what to
That's
do.
not far off.
It's true. I've taught you what to do. This is how great leaders take the pressure off themselves. They teach others how to become great.
Just give them their own show.
Man,
They don't need us.
I'm glad I'm self-aware. Woo. These guys will embarrass me right off the line.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Pastor Dr. Prophet Ruth, I'm just thinking of all those we can buy that house, so we can buy a car, so we can our kids can do well in school, and we stand in line and burden men and women of God who should be preaching the gospel to people who are lost on the streets. They spend hours and hours in church waiting for them to lay hands on us.
My question is, why does the guy that's doing that think that he's the one that has to do that?
Come on.
I'm just saying.
Self-consciousness, maybe, Dr. Henry?
I'm just asking. You mean that one prayer can't cover 500? I got to pray.
Come on. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm stirred up.
I wasn't
The
going to
Holy
do
Spirit
that.
will-
I've been thinking, reading from what Dr. Ruth just shared with us now and what the Bible says. Think about this requires thinking, not the thought.
I was going to be a little more, sophisticated about it.
Wow.
You know what, though?
Thinking.
I said this before. This is the church. This is what the church is meant to be. There's no walls here. And
Amen.
we have people from all over the world here. And, and this is, I think this is something that would make, I think Jesus is very happy seeing this, because this is all real life, practical stuff. We're talking on a level that some of it's really, really deep, but I think even non-believers understand what we're saying right now.